Maya, I have to confess, 10 minutes ago, I thought I lost my phone. I actually felt my heart skip a beat. I was checking under the sofa, in the fridge, don't ask why, and I started sweating. It was in my back pocket the whole time.
Jacob, that is exactly why we need to talk about today's topic. Welcome back to American English Explained. I'm Maya, the one who actually enjoys silence.
And I'm Jacob, the guy who feels naked without 5G. Today, we're asking a terrifying question. Can you survive a full day without your phone?
But before we dive into that digital nightmare, we have to check in. How are you feeling today, guys? Are you energized, a bit sleepy, or maybe already a little stressed about your screen time? Jacob, how is your internal battery looking?
Honestly, I'm at about 85%. I've had my coffee, but just thinking about today's topic has me feeling a bit twitchy. I keep checking my pocket just to make sure my phone hasn't run away. What about you, Maya?
I'm at a solid 100%, feeling totally in the zone. I'm excited because I know how much this topic resonates with everyone. Speaking of everyone, welcome to the show. If you're a B1 or B2 learner, you are in exactly the right place.
That's right. Our mission is to help you bridge the gap between intermediate and C1 level fluency. We do that by using a real-world language mix. You'll hear standard intermediate flow blended with advanced vocabulary, natural slang, and those beautiful phrases that make you sound like a native.
And here is your safety net. If you hear a word or idiom you don't recognize, don't panic. Just let the conversation wash over you. Focus on the context. At the end of the episode, we have our dedicated vocabulary vault, where we'll define the 10 most important terms and give you example sentences.
Remember, this isn't a boring grammar lecture. This is life, just in English. We believe the best way to learn is by discussing things that actually matter to you. The best part? This podcast is totally versatile.
Exactly. You can listen to us while you're cooking dinner, driving to work, crushing it at the gym, or just relaxing on the sofa. It's perfect for both intermediate learners who want to grow and advanced learners who want to stay sharp. It's authentic, it's real, and it's relevant.
Today's episode is a game changer. We're going to look at the pros and cons of a phone-free day, explore why our brains are addicted to notifications, and share some hilarious stories of what happens when we actually unplug in a 5G world.
So before we start the clock on our phone-free day, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with a friend who is on their own English learning journey. Your support helps our community grow.
And stick around until the very end. We want to hear from you in the comments. Tell us what you liked, which new words you caught, or what emotions this topic sparked in you. We read every single one.
We're going to explore the digital detox. We'll talk about the pros and cons, the phantom vibration syndrome, and why we think Sunday is the only day you should ever try this. Here's the roadmap. Part 1, the dialogue. I'll tell you about my silent Sunday, and Jacob will explain why he almost had a panic attack trying to find a gym without GPS.
Maya, I know you're checking your watch right now, but put the tech away. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's get into it. But before we talk about my silent Sunday, we have to look at the bigger picture. Jacob, did you know that the first mobile phone call was made back in 1973? A man named Martin Cooper from Motorola stood on a street in New York and called his rival at Bell Labs. He basically said, "I'm calling you from a real cellular phone."
No way! That's the ultimate flex, as we say today. Back then, those phones looked like actual bricks. They weighed about 2 pounds. Fast forward to today, and we have billions of people, over 7 billion to be exact, carrying these tiny, powerful supercomputers in their pockets.
It's staggering. Think about it. Our phones have evolved from being a luxury tool for calls to being an extension of our very selves. It's our bank, our map, our memory, and our connection to the world. Statistics show that the average person checks their phone about 144 times a day. That's once every few minutes.
That number actually makes my stomach turn a little, but it's so relatable. For us, a phone isn't just a gadget, it's a safety blanket. We can't imagine life without it because it has solved so many problems, but it's also created new ones. Let's look at the pros and cons of this tiny rectangle that rules our lives. We're basically walking around with the Library of Alexandria in our pockets. But let's get real for a second. This little device is a total double-edged sword. Maya, I know you have some thoughts on the dark side of this technology.
I definitely do. I think of it as the smartphone paradox. We've gained so much, but we've also lost a part of our peace. Let's break it down. I'll play the devil's advocate for the cons, and you can give us the sunny side.
Challenge accepted. Let's start with the big one. Instant connectivity. I mean, I can FaceTime my buddy in Tokyo while I'm standing in line for a taco here in the States. That's pure magic.
It is magic, but it creates digital fatigue. Because you can talk to anyone, anywhere, you feel like you must be available everywhere. Being always on leads to massive burnout. Your boss, your mom, and that random group chat are all screaming for your attention 24/7.
Fair point. But what about the knowledge at your fingertips? If I want to know the GDP of Iceland or how to fix a leaky faucet, I have the answer in 3 seconds. It makes us smarter, doesn't it?
Or it leads to information overload. We are drowning in data, Jacob. Our brains aren't designed to process 1,000 headlines, 3 podcasts, and 500 fun facts every single day. It makes it nearly impossible to focus on one deep thought.
Okay, you're winning on the focus argument, but you can't deny safety and navigation. Remember paper maps? They were a nightmare. Now I can never truly get lost. Unless my battery dies, of course.
True, but that safety comes with privacy erosion. To never be lost, you have to be constantly tracked and monitored. Every store you visit, every route you take, it's all being sold to someone. We've traded our anonymity for convenience.
That's a heavy price when you put it that way. But think about the memories. Capturing memories is so easy now. Every sunset, every family dinner, every funny thing my dog does, it's recorded forever.
And that leads us straight into the comparison trap. While you're recording your dinner, millions of people are scrolling through perfectly curated lives and feeling totally inadequate. We stop living our own lives because we're too busy comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel.
Wow. Okay. I think I need to put my phone face down for a minute. That's exactly why your experiment is so important. It's about taking back control. Okay, Maya, you actually did it. A full 24 hours. No Instagram, no Google Maps, no texting. How are you still alive? Didn't you feel disconnected?
At first, honestly, yes, I woke up and reached for my nightstand. And when I realized my phone was in a kitchen drawer, I felt this weird surge of anxiety. It's what they call dependency. But after an hour of meditation and breakfast, something changed. I felt a sense of presence I haven't felt in years.
See, that sounds nice in theory, but for me, a weekday without a phone is impossible. I need it for work, for Slack, for coordinating with you. But you're saying we should only omit phones on the weekend.
Exactly. Trying this on a Monday is a fiasco waiting to happen. But on a Sunday, it's liberating. I went for a walk in the park. Instead of doom scrolling through news while sitting on a bench, I actually looked at the trees. I noticed a family of ducks. I haven't looked at ducks in a decade, Jacob.
Ducks? I'd be bored out of my mind. I tried to do a mini detox on Saturday morning while going to a new gym. I thought, I'm a man, I can find it without GPS. I ended up 3 miles away in a construction zone. I felt so vulnerable without that little blue dot on the map.
That's the con. We've lost our basic survival skills. But think about the pro. When you're at dinner with your family and no one has a phone on the table, the conversation is so much deeper. You aren't just together but alone, you're actually hearing them.
I get that. My biggest issue is the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I feel like if I don't check my phone, I'm missing a joke, a news story, or a meme. It's like a mindless habit. I catch myself opening apps for no reason at all.
It's a cycle, Jacob. But after my silent Sunday, my cognitive load felt so much lighter. I slept better. I didn't have that blue light headache. So here's my challenge. Next Sunday, give your phone to someone else and just exist.
Give it to someone else? Maya, you're asking for a miracle. But okay, for the sake of the podcast, I'll try it. Just don't expect me to find any ducks.
Trust me, Jacob, once you stop looking at your screen, you'll start seeing things you never noticed before. But let's talk to our listeners for a second. You might be thinking, Maya, I use my phone to learn English. If I put it away, I'm losing a study day.
That's a great point. Most of us use apps, YouTube, or podcasts like this one to practice. So how do you keep your English momentum going during a digital detox?
This is actually where your English can become profoundly better. When you remove the screen, you move from passive learning to active living. Here is how you can spend a phone-free Sunday and still level up your skills. Dive into a physical book. Instead of scrolling through short captions, pick up a real book, like the ones I mentioned earlier, Atomic Habits or a mystery novel. Reading long-form text without the temptation to click a notification helps your brain enter a state of deep work. Join a local speaking club. Look for a local English meetup or a book club in your city. Real-world, face-to-face interaction is the ultimate test of your fluency. You can't rely on a translation app when you're sitting across from someone with a cup of coffee.
I love that. And honestly, it's not just about the language. It's about your brain's health. We don't realize it, but being plugged in 24/7 is a massive, invisible stressor. Our brains are constantly on high alert for the next ping or vibration.
Exactly. It's like a background noise that you only notice once it stops. When you spend a day without a phone, your cortisol levels, the stress hormone, actually drop. You're giving your nervous system a chance to reset. You'll find that your focus improves and that brain fog starts to lift.
And let's not forget the people sitting right in front of us. How many times have we been at dinner with family, but everyone is staring at their own little world? A phone-free day is a gift to your relationships. You get to have those deep dives into conversations that you usually skip because you're too busy checking a notification.
It's true. Being present with your family or even just being comfortable sitting alone with your own thoughts is a superpower in 2026. It's about being authentic with yourself. You start to see that life isn't a series of photos for an audience. It's a series of moments for you.
So now we've used some heavy-hitting C1 phrases here. Let's look at 10 words that will help you describe your unplugged experience.
Digital detox, meaning a period of time when a person refrains from using electronic devices. For example, I'm going on a digital detox this weekend to clear my head.
3. Liberating, meaning making you feel free from social or personal constraints. For example, leaving my phone at home was surprisingly liberating.
4. Doom scrolling, meaning the habit of continuously scrolling through bad news on social media. For example, I spent 2 hours doom scrolling last night and couldn't sleep.
5. Vulnerable, meaning feeling open to being hurt or feeling unsafe, unprotected. For example, I felt vulnerable wandering the city without my phone's map.
6. FOMO, meaning anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere. For example, I check Instagram every 10 minutes because of my FOMO.
7. Mindless, meaning doing something without thought or use of the brain. For example, I was just mindlessly checking my emails while watching TV.
8. Connectivity, meaning the state of being connected, digitally or socially. For example, constant connectivity means we never truly have time to be alone.
9. Unplug, meaning to disconnect from technology and the internet. For example, it's healthy to unplug for at least a few hours every Sunday.
10. Profoundly, meaning in a way that is very great, deep, or intense. For example, spending time in nature profoundly changed my perspective on stress. 11. Momentum, meaning the force or speed of an object in motion or the energy of a process. Example, I don't want to lose my study momentum just because I'm on vacation.
12. Invisible stressor, meaning a source of stress that you aren't consciously aware of but that still affects your health. Example, constant notifications act as an invisible stressor on the human brain.
13. Cortisol levels, meaning the amount of the primary stress hormone in your body. Example, exercise and meditation are great ways to lower your cortisol levels.
14. Brain fog, meaning a state of mental confusion or lack of clarity. Example, after 5 hours of screen time, I usually experience some serious brain fog.
15. Authentic, meaning of undisputed origin, genuine and real. Example, it's hard to be authentic when you're constantly trying to impress people online.
16. Analog, meaning relating to or using signals or information represented by a continuously variable physical quantity, non-digital. Example, I miss the analog days of writing real letters to my friends.
17. Cognitive clarity, meaning the state of having a clear, sharp, and focused mind. Example, a day without technology gave me the cognitive clarity I needed to solve the problem. That's it for episode 16. Do you think you could survive a day without your phone? Or are you like Jacob and terrified of getting lost?
Tell us in the comments. And remember, if you liked this episode, hit that subscribe button. On your phone, of course.
See you in the next one. Bye.